As we hit the tail end of the Madden season, I want to keep the game fresh for you guys right here on the channel. I appreciate all the support that you guys have provided me in the spring and into the summer months. We are right around the corner from College Football 26 and Madden 26 right after that. So make sure that you guys are subscribed to the channel, hit that notification bell, and grab out your pen and pad because you're going to need it for today's video. We're going to be talking about stack formations, in particular some of these wide stack alignments that you might find out of the normal flex snug in the Seattle Seahawks offense, or the double stack, which is found in many playbooks in this game, but one of the notable ones is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. These formations allow you a lot of freedom to attack zones, in particular the most prominent meta in the game, which is some sort of 3-2 or 1-4 cover 4 based hard flat pressure. These defenses cannot work because those sideline defenders can get run off too easily, allowing deeper routes to stop or break over the middle and pick up huge gains behind the linebackers, but in front of those deep zones, whether it's the outside corners or the safeties. We're going to break down a couple of key setups that you guys can run. And again, I want you to remember with this particular formation that we did a breakdown of a read key swap glitch that exists in the Seattle and the Tampa Bay playbooks. I named those playbooks for a reason because they have the bunch tight end. Now, I did do a video specifically on this, so you can make sure to go back and check that if you want more detail. But one of the things that you guys can do with this formation is come out in the bunch tight end and then audible against the dollar defensive meta into this formation. So I'm going to show you what this looks like. So what occurs normally when you audible from the bunch tight end into the double stack or the normal flex snug into a read RPO screen is that it makes the slot defender on the right the read key instead of the pass icon. If you were to come out in this play normally, it would actually have the slot icon as the P icon and the defensive end as the R icon, which is normal. This is huge because a lot of times your opponents are going to be playing this cover 4 hard flat where that slot defender is responsible for that screen throw, and he's going to end up faking out, allowing us to throw this ball out and then run up the field for a big gain. So this is super, super annoying. And it's something that you guys can kind of audible into, which is going to render that portion of this defense basically useless. Okay. So what I want to do here though, is focus primarily on attacking the coverage that is very, very popular. Again, the cover 3 or cover 4 hard flat. What we're going to do here is start off with the first one, which is front man runoff, back man stop. So it's going to look something like this, and you're just going to custom stem your curl up. The reason that this is so effective is that in a cover 4 or a cover 3 defense, the streak to the front player will take the sideline defender because we are split out so wide. These wide receivers are basically all the way out on the sidelines. So a sideline defender has to continue running with Cole Kmet on this play. And then behind them, we're just going to make sure that we have a curl that runs deep enough that your flat zone that's underneath can't drop out underneath of it. So when we run this, you're going to see here that we snap this ball and this guy's just going to post up and you throw it right here and possession catch it. Pretty simple. Now let's run this to the wide side of the field. Front man on the go, back man on the stop pattern. We're going to custom stem this up to about 20, 25 yards. For what it's worth, if you don't know how to custom stem, it's Y. Choose the receiver you want to change the depth of the route, hold the left bumper, and then you can either tap the left stick, which will drag it in 1 yard increments up to whatever you feel comfortable with, or you can tap the D-pad to take chunks that are 3 to 5 yards. Again, right here, we're spotted on the 25. I think stopping in midfield is pretty good because most players aren't going to run a 25-yard zone unless they're playing zone drops, and then you're going to be throwing screens and underneath routes underneath in the flat all day long anyways. So we snap this ball here, and we're able to run off that shell. There's the stop pattern, boom. Now, what you need to be aware of here is using another route on the field that would pull the hook defender on the wide side underneath that curl. So you see right here on this play, I didn't adjust anything on the backside, and this dig route kind of snaps across the field, and that pulled that zone a little bit. That's a bad route relationship. So what I would actually recommend doing instead against this, if you want to give yourself some sort of check down, like if I want to go to the wide side again on this and then just kind of stem this route up, I would actually probably go with like a drive combo and then just send this route, you know, snapping off at like 15, 20 yards. Because what that'll do is that will keep that left hook underneath a little bit more. He has to, you know, rally down to that. And then that's going to open up this throw a little bit more. So again, you see how easily we can make this throw to the wide or the short side. Now, if you guys are enjoying this type of scheme building, make sure you guys check out gridirongameplans.gg, my strategy website. Opened in 2020, Gridiron is the #1 place to get better at Madden and also now college football. With your pre-sale membership, Just one payment upfront unlocks the entire website all year long. Rather than going $9.95 a month for 12 months a year, $120, you guys are going to be able to unlock the entire year's content for just $75. Now, let me break down what that entails. Weekly vault updates. These are curated content specifically for you, taking the lab work out. We're going to take a look at the trends of Madden, what pro players are doing, thus what everyone else online is doing, why it works, and how to counter it so that way you guys beat it when you face it online. This means you're going to spend less on packs week to week because you're going to be winning more games, getting more in-game rewards, and buying the cards you want off the auction house rather than spending $100 on a bundle, hoping for a small chance to get an item that is in those packs. On top of that, you guys get all offensive and defensive game plans at no additional charge. These are the skeleton of your scheme. The vault tips are the muscles and everything else that attaches to your framework. So every single week you get better installing little nuanced tips that go into your game plans, whatever it is you want to run. Even if it's your own offense, the vault tips can help you guys out because it's conceptual based content focused on attacking and countering things that people run online. And on top of that, we also have lab sessions inside our members only Discord. With over 3,000 members since we opened up the Discord, it is the best place to find lab partners, talk about the content on the website, the metas in the game that are constantly evolving, and help one another out. We also have those lab sessions in the Discord, which are group sessions for 1 hour every single week, where I take your questions live, answer them on the spot. And new to Madden this year, I will be uploading those lab sessions onto the website the very next morning. So for those of you that are unable to attend, can still make sure you attend and see the notes and see all the things that we talked about. Sometimes those lab sessions even have future content that we're going to be talking about on the website in the vault in the coming weeks. So make sure you guys go check it out. It is the best deal in the tip space. I offer these pre-sale offers until the games come out. I have one for college, I have one for Madden, and I have a combo membership. All right, so we're attacking the sideline a lot with these combos here, with these go stop patterns. Let's go ahead and start breaking off some routes over the middle, because we can't just attack the sidelines. A lot of times what people are going to do is they're going to start to play basically Mabel coverage, which is going to be some sort of hard flat, cloud flat with a deep zone over the top on the sideline. This is very, very popular defense. A lot of times they're going to be, you know, blitzing as well. But with this, we have to start throwing over the middle when our opponents start to defend the stop route on the sideline. So what we're going to do is we are going to work front man go once again, back man on an in break. Now, there are a couple different throws that I think you can run. You can run the short side post or even the wide side post if you want to. Just be advised that the wide side, again, sometimes that hook on the wide side drops deeper. You might see that he kind of gets out underneath that window that I want to throw to, and that can be a little bit tougher. But on the short side of the field, however, you will notice that we can rip this throw pretty easily. In fact, what I would do with this is I would go ahead and maybe custom stem this up just a little bit with the left stick. On the short side of the field, you're going to be able to rip this throw over the middle. You see how easily we can make this throw. They're going to have to switch stick to this. The stock AI coverage does not cover that, whether it's the safeties or the hooks on the short side. Now, if you are going to throw this to the wide side of the field, as I just mentioned, one of the things that you guys can do to make this a little bit more effective is give yourself a check down route. This would be something that you could throw as a basically conflict route if this guy drops all the way out underneath that post. So what we would do in this case is basically run off the coverage and then read that hook on the left side. And you're going to see here that in this case, he bites up down, so you can throw this ball over the top of his head. And again, if they are backing up with this concept, you are going to throw your check down. So you see here, I snap this ball, he continues to backpedal, I throw the check down underneath, and we scamper up the field for the same amount of yards. It's just after the catch because we're throwing a receiver that is wide open underneath, taking our check down. Now, the dagger concept is really, really good because if your opponent is walking down these safeties that are in these cover four, especially if they're blitzing and doing these ram style blitzes or loops, a lot of times the post route kind of runs into them. So we might know how to block this blitz, but what ends up occurring is sometimes a knockout ability is able to get back. Now you see right there, that was okay. But sometimes the safety does make this happen. So what I want to encourage you guys to do is run the dagger combo, which is a streak and an in route that I would probably stem up probably 3, maybe a little bit more than 3 D-pad clicks. And that would still give yourself that check down route on the right that kind of crosses to the left. This is a nice little combo. It's a super high-low over the middle. If the hooks, again, drop super far back to cover that in break to more, you're going to throw to commit. You could also pair this for what it's worth with a curl flat combo. You could go ahead and, you know, run your curl route to B, maybe stem it at that depth, and then put a check down in the flat. Just depends on whether or not you feel comfortable with the pressure. If they're sending a blitz, you obviously might leave your running back in. But what's really valuable about this is that if your opponent does walk these safeties down into the box with the intent being to kind of take away post routes and things of that nature, or seam routes, you're still going to be able to run them off with that and then snap off this throw at the second level. You see how easy that you can do this. And in fact, you actually pick up more yardage if you get time, because those safeties really bail out, and that allows you to pass lead the dig route up, as opposed to throwing the post on the break as it's going upfield for the same amount of yards. This one might be a little bit safer for you. And of course, you can run this on the short side of the field, give yourself some sort of check down. You might even go with like a slight follow combo, something, you know, that is just a little bit more delayed, this stemmed up in route with a drag over the middle. That way, if they, you know, jump the drag with the first guy, you can throw the second one in behind, provided that your pass protection doesn't fall over. But again, with this, you can throw dagger to the short side of the field. Again, just snap off this route the second level. You notice I can even pass lead that up into the safety. That streak does a good job pulling both the outside corner and the safety. So this is some simple passing stuff out of the double stack or the normal flex snug, whatever playbook you guys run, that is really tough. Of course, this is complementing a lot of the RPO stuff that we've already talked about here on the channel as well. So make sure you borrow from that video, kind of piece this all together. Really good offense. This is something that I thought about running as my starting offense early in the year, but I was more so drawn to the bunch tight end in the Seattle playbook. And I'm just now kind of falling back in love with something that I was looking at all the way back in August. So I hope that you guys enjoy this right here on the YouTube channel. Make sure you guys take advantage of the pre-sale offers on Gridiron. I will see you guys tomorrow. Until then, this is Zan. Get the lab in. Good luck.